doing? Oh, God. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to the airport. I have to stop and get gas. We'll skip the pumping of the gas part. And I'll try to be as quiet as possible. Unless something interesting needs to be spoken about. Thank you. I won't skip the driving into the gas station part, but I will pause it for the pumping of the gas. Okay, now I'm going to go up King Street, which turns into Highway 8, and then I get onto the 401. Okay, I'm going to pause it at red lights as well. So you don't get too bored. Temperature, according to my little thermometer on my van, is 26 Celsius, which is just nudging 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a lot of humidity. So I do have the windows closed and the air conditioning on. I don't usually say anything in these videos, I'm not sure why, but I feel kind of babbly today. But I don't have much to say. It is Sunday of a long weekend. The August long weekend, which is the civic holiday long weekend. It's not a statutory holiday, but most people take the day off from work. But retail stores are, most of the retail stores are open. I think banks might be closed. Not quite sure. I'm just going to the airport. I'm going to make some videos. I make a lot of aviation videos, plane spotting videos at the airport. They used to be quite popular, but I guess the algorithms on YouTube have, I don't know. I'm confused, but we'll just keep on doing it because I enjoy doing it. And I'm taking another trip down to South Texas in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to do a time-lapse video of the entire trip. So maybe that'll get some attention, I hope. So anybody that's watching this, wait for that. People may be wondering why I would go all the way down to South Texas. Well, there's a reason for why I initially went down. But now I just really love the area. People are nice. It's mostly Hispanic, and I think that they're really friendly because they're a lot like Canadians, you know, with a bit of an identity issue. So they're always friendly, and the food is great. I mean, Texas is such a big state, it's so diverse. I mean, the politics is horrible, you know, the fact, but it is a pretty purple state now, and that you may see a shift in the next little while, if not this coming election. It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. So why did you bring it up? So now we're coming on to the 401, which is the busiest freeway in North America, if not the world. Not this section of it, the section going through Toronto. But we have 12 lanes here in this section right here going through the Waterloo region with a HOV lane. Then it narrows down to 3 lanes for a brief period, and then back to, well, at least 10 lanes, and then splits up into collectors lanes and core lanes all the way to Toronto. So now this area all the way out here is considered part of Metropolitan Toronto or Greater Toronto, the Greater Golden Horseshoe region. And the reason why it's now considered Metropolitan Toronto is because of the transit. The GO transit runs from here to Toronto. So it's technically become a bedroom community of Toronto. So now, I was looking in Wikipedia for the largest metropolitan areas in North America. Toronto, as a city, had surpassed Chicago a few years back. They're up around 3 million people now. But the Chicagoland area, or whatever it is, was quite a bit bigger. But they've changed the way they get those statistics, and now Toronto is also the 4th largest metropolitan area in North America, with about 9 million people. So I will share what little knowledge I have of things. We got the HOV lanes here going through Cambridge, Ontario. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes wide here. Now, a lot of people, especially Americans, they drive down here and they think that like gas stations, places to fuel, are very rare, but they actually aren't. Just about every interchange there's a gas station somewhere, but they just, for some reason, they don't kind of mark them that much on the highway. But these en route places that are every couple hours, they mark, just there, that sign up on the right, it's an en route station. I think people get the impression that that's the only place you can fuel up along here, but it's not. Like, you can get off Town Line Road here and just go across that bridge up ahead and there's gas stations. But it's not like when you're on an interstate in the US where you get these really, really high telescoping signs that you can see from the highway. They don't have many of those here. So it almost looks like you can't get gas anywhere. But it's not true. But if you do look at the blue signs, they do list the different retailers, restaurants, gas stations, and things like that. But they're easy to miss. But these en route stations are really marked well. Like this one coming up, you got this big sign here that says en route. You got Canadian Tire Gas, you got a Tim Hortons, A&W, Starbucks, New York Fries, and CIBC ATM machine. ATM machine. ATM. The M stands for machine, you idiot. Now you see what I mean about this en route. Like, they've got this huge billboard here. That I don't know, it hasn't been there that long, but this place here, folks, is en route, is not the only place to get gas. So don't feel you have to stop there and fill up your car. A little bit cloudy, well, quite a bit cloudy, what am I talking about, but it's not raining yet. So the speed limit along here at the moment is 100 kilometers an hour, which is 62, 63 miles an hour. Now, nobody goes that fast, or nobody goes that slow, people are passing me and I'm going 110 kilometers or 111 kilometers, which is about 70 miles an hour. So most people are going 75, and I think you can get away with 75. I shouldn't say this. I'm sure the cops wouldn't like it, but I've consistently gone 120 kilometers an hour, which is 75 miles an hour down this highway for decades, for most of my adult life, and have never, ever, ever got a speeding ticket. So anyway, apparently they're going to put the speed limit up to 110 kilometers an hour. They've already done that in a few sections, which makes a little bit more sense because nobody goes 100 kilometers. going 120 right now, and I'm just going to cruise at that speed. About 115. This exit here is 6 north to Guelph. You'd have to go quite a piece to hit a gas station off of here, I think. But the next interchange, you've got gas stations in both directions, which is just a little, you know, couple minutes more. Hang on, buddy, I'm gonna get by you. This area of the 401, when they're doing traffic reports, they call it between the sixes, because that exit that I just passed, yeah, the bridge that I just went under there was 6 north, and then the next exit is 6 south. So this is actually part of Highway 6, as well as the 401 right here. See, here you've got these signs that said there's restaurants, Tim Hortons, Burger King, and I think this next sign will tell you that you've got gas stations. Or not. If I was going to Niagara Falls from where I left Kitchener, I would be getting off at this exit and going south and meeting up with the Highway 403 and then the QEW, which takes you right to the US border. Now, if I was from somewhere else, I wouldn't know that I could get a gas station here at this interchange, because I didn't see any signs back there that said you could. But I know for a fact that there are several gas stations just going over this bridge. So this is just information for people that are traveling the 401 for the first time. There may have been some signs, but I missed them. I've never had to look at them because I know where all the gas stations are. This bus coming up here is a GO bus. Part of the GO transit system. Interlinks, I think they call it, another name. And it's Metrolinks, I'm sorry. And it's just like all these all the subsidized transit goes into the center of Toronto, so. And they go, those buses, I don't know how far they go, but the trains will go to Kitchener, to Hamilton, and I think Niagara Falls on weekends, if not all the time now. And of course in the other direction to Oshawa, and then north to, maybe Barrie, I don't know. Citation needed. actually a major US route. Like anybody traveling from, well, Detroit to Boston, Chicago to Boston, maybe even Chicago to New York, it would be an alternate route for that. They just cut through Canada along this stretch of highway, and then either go up to the other end of Lake Ontario and then go into the States. I think if you were going to Boston, that's what you would do, but you would have got off way back and got onto the 403 if you were going across at Niagara Falls. So now I'm going 130 kilometers an hour, which is 80 miles an hour, so I'm just going to ease off a bit because I haven't tested that speed much before. I feel safe at 120, but if you're not paying attention, you can get going pretty quick. Down when I was driving down through the States, specifically Texas, it's 75 miles an hour, and there was one piece of highway, I think it was an Austin bypass, it was 80, and in one section it was 85, and it actually wasn't that bad because there wasn't that many people driving on the highway, not that much traffic, and everybody was just going 80, and so, you know, it wasn't like people were going 100, or I'm talking miles per hour right now, or anything like that, because people seem to be really afraid to go anything over the speed limit. So, like here, people will go 120, 130, 110. So you got people going all kinds of crazy speeds, not being totally sure what they can get away with. So it actually causes a little bit more havoc. So I think if they made it 110, that would speed up the slow traffic a little bit and keep the fast traffic going the same, so it's probably safer. I'm looking forward to doing that time-lapse video going down to Texas. What I'm going to do is I'll be posting the interstates that I'm on, or the state highways that I'm on, like throughout the entire thing. I'm going to try and take the route that stays on interstates, because I think it's better. Like I go down to I-75 to Cincinnati and then get onto I-71, which takes you Louisville, Nashville, and then I-40 to Memphis, and then continue on I-40 through Arkansas. And I think somewhere around Little Rock, Arkansas, you get onto Interstate 30. And then if I'm going straight down to Corpus Christi, which is where I end up, I'll go down through Houston. But the highways going down from Texarkana through Houston to Corpus Christi are terrible. So I like to go over to Dallas and down to San Antonio, and then stop in San Antonio for a few days, and then continue on down to Corpus Christi. They've got this crazy, I think it's I-59, or not I-59, it's a state highway 59, which is the I-69 corridor, but it goes through towns. You have to stop at lights. Sometimes it's divided, but you have traffic coming on and off with stop signs and whatnot, crossing the lanes. And then you've got highways with suicide lanes, and it's no fun because, and I think they're speed traps, because in some spots it's 75 miles an hour, and then it'll suddenly slow down to 65, then 55, then 45, then you're going through a town, and the cops are just waiting there for people to, you know, not be observing the speed limit changes. So you have to be really careful with that. If anything, they probably give out more speeding tickets now with this higher speed limit. Now we're officially entering the GTA, Greater Toronto Area, which has a population of about 6 million. The city of Milton, or the town of Milton, I'm not sure it's a city yet, but it's you know, it's got over 100,000 people. I'm not sure. I've noticed this overpass here that's under construction. I don't know whether that's the start of the Highway 413 or what, but they're supposed to be building another kind of Toronto bypass, the 413. So you got the 401, the 407, which is a toll bypass of Toronto. And then you're supposed to get the 413, which hooks up with Highway 400. So you kind of bypass a lot of stuff if you're going north. But if I ever see that in my lifetime, I'll be surprised. So now we're getting into another newly constructed area, the 401, we're gonna be getting HOV lanes and collectors lanes coming up soon too. Which really, really helps, I'll tell you, getting to Toronto at any time of day. Or any day of the week. Oh my God, I'm still going quite fast. I'm gonna just go over here. Still says 61 kilometers to Toronto, but that's to City Hall. I noticed they do it differently in Canada compared to the States. I think the States will tell you how far it is to the city limit, but here it's always to the center of the city. So we'll actually be entering Toronto probably in about 25 kilometers. That probably confuses people too, when, you know, especially Americans. They'll say, oh, it's so far. Well, we're actually in metropolitan Toronto, or, well, in the urban part of metropolitan Toronto now. So this is where you would get on the 407 if you wanted to bypass pretty much the entire city of Toronto. It is a toll though, and it's kind of expensive. I avoid it as much as possible. Okay, now we've got express lanes. I'm going to get into the express lanes because it's wider, and what are you slowing down so much for? And you just have 2 lanes in an HOV lane in the express lanes, so I think it might be a little bit quicker, or it won't slow down. Checking my battery because I have to, if I'm going to do that, well, the battery only lasts about an hour, so even if I was taking a trip like this, I'd probably have to have it plugged in. So I just want to make sure that the power keeps ahead of the battery running out, and it seems to, because I was at 17% and now I'm at 19%, so as long as it doesn't lose power, I'll be fine with that time-lapse trip to Texas. Oh, the sky's clearing up. I noticed I was getting a lot of glare, reflection off the windshield sometimes, and just glare from the sky. So I got a polarizing filter for my little GoPro camera here, and looking at the view screen, it looks like it's doing a good job, but we'll see. Because it looks like that blue sky on the view screen is actually showing up more than the actual blue sky that I see. Actually, it's here where you get on the 407, not back there. Now we're coming into the city of Mississauga. Population 722,000. It's the largest suburb of Toronto. It's its own city now, for sure. It started out as bedroom. It started out as like an amalgamation of a bunch of smaller towns, and then it filled in all between, and now it's got its own downtown with skyscrapers, and, you know. But it's really interesting to see how it evolved over the years. if I wasn't paying attention, but he seemed out of line. I don't know if he had his blinker on there the whole time. I'll have to check the check the film. Scared the crap out of me anyway, and I'm sorry for the S word there. I'm usually quite conscientious about other vehicles, but I may have been not paying attention well enough there, or maybe I was, and he was out of line. All I know is you have to give those tractor trailers more room than a regular car. Well, obviously, but I mean, you know, speed-wise, you have to get out of their way. But, I mean, he should never assume that somebody's going to just be slowing down for him. But, thinking about it now, he did have lots of time to get over, and he should have been able to see by the speed that I was passing him that he didn't have to get over when he did. So, and I'm sticking to that. Dash cam that I could probably use for this video too. It has a microphone and everything, but I think the quality is quite a bit better on the GoPro. Getting close to the airport. Here, Ontario. No, we're still a piece away, but this lane, this motorcycle guy. You're not supposed to do that. Well, I guess he kind of didn't split it, but I guess in California that's legal. I know they do it in Brazil when I was down there. Oh my God. 401 down to 3 lanes, but that's because it's joining up with Highway 403, people getting off to get on Highway 403 and people coming off of Highway 403 to get back on, so you'll see it suddenly get huge again. People coming to the airport from this direction, if you get off at Renforth instead of the 427 north, it's a lot less stressful. I don't know if it's quicker, but it's the only way I go. So in a minute I'll show you. It's a little ways off. I'm sure a lot of people know that, but or they at least know where Renforth is, but maybe don't realize that you can actually quickly access all the terminals and everything that way as well. So this is Renforth Drive, Highway 427. My goodness, had a bit of dyslexia there. The rest, and then if you'd stay on the 401, you would just, you know, go through Toronto and end up on the other side. So during the week, or even on Saturdays, depending on the time of day, this gets really busy. This spot right here kind of bottlenecks. So when you get to this part, you've got to get over to the right. You've got time, but take your time. Just one lane at a time. And then if you wanted to take the 427 north, you would have to stay over to the left side there, and that's where most people go. And then 427 south and Renforth Drive, you go to the right, but here's Renforth Drive. And then you get over to the left, so you can turn left, or you could have actually stayed there, but I prefer this way much more. Just pause it here. Okay, so the airport is basically straight ahead. And what I'll do is normally I would turn left up here and find a nice spot to tape the planes, but I will take you right to Terminal 1 as if I was dropping somebody off or picking somebody up. The airport is mostly in the city of Mississauga, but there's a part of it that cuts into the city of Toronto, like the very northwest corner of Toronto, and that's where we are right now. And I'm going to turn left here, and that's the 427 straight ahead, that bridge. Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm not paying attention. Oh boy. Okay, maybe I didn't pay attention with that truck. Sorry, folks. I might cut that part out. Or maybe I won't. You always have to pay attention to the road, folks. Okay? Thank you. Now, I I'm going to go to Terminal 1. That would have sucked if I would have gotten into an accident. Probably would have got a lot of views though. So even the GO bus goes this way. I don't know where he came from. To the left there is that Antonov plane from Russia. I don't know if it's an Antonov, but it's a Russian freighter that's been here since Putin invaded Ukraine, and it's just been sitting there. And it's like, I think it's up to like $500,000 in parking fees. So I don't think they care about it. Somebody should come and get it probably though. Anyway, now you just go to the left here at these lights, Terminal 1 and 3. But you can see that, like, when I went kind of that scary point at that intersection back there, it just goes to show you that even if you were on hands-free on a call, you're still distracted, you know. Like, this is like a hands-free call, right? So whether you're, you know, and I'm using one hand on the wheel, so I better take advantage of this hands-free situation and use two hands on the wheel. There's another lesson, folks. So, right straight to Terminal 1 and 3. Now, Pearson Airport has a Terminal 1 and a Terminal 3. Why, do you ask? Because at one time, they did have a Terminal 2. They had Terminal 1, Terminal 2, and Terminal 3, but Terminal 1 was quite a bit smaller than the Terminal 1 now that they rebuilt. And Terminal 2 was really tiny. It was for domestic flights. So I'm going to go to arrivals. So this is what you would do if you were picking somebody up. I think. Did I go the right way? Yeah. Okay, so there's a bit of a line up there. So what arrivals, vehicles only, authorized vehicles only. We're not going to go that way. I don't want to go to parking. Oh geez. Okay, I'm stuck with all the people arriving. I'll just have to sit here. Oh, you know what? It's unplugged. Okay. Through all that chaos, the battery unplugged. Oh no, it didn't. Oh my goodness. 14%. Is that still plugged in? Oh. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. So all these people are dropping people off. I don't know if I can go past this one. I'm going to try. I don't want to end up in the parking garage unwillingly. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Have a good flight. busy. This airport is just getting back to normal, believe it or not, after COVID. Uh, 2019 was its busiest year with over 50 million passengers. So it's like up there in the top 10 in North America. Very close to a lot of other airports, you know, like Denver, Seattle, San Francisco, Las Vegas, airports like that. Miami. Okay, we'll just drive through. Okay, the sun is out. It's a beautiful day now. Okay, folks, well, I think that'll wrap things up. Have a wonderful, wonderful August.